Okay. Okay, Mataji. So please do try to go through these purports. Okay. So we can all contribute. Adidev Prabhu, Hare Krishna, can you unmute? See, Subbarao Prabhu and who
Hare
else?
Krishna, Prabhu. So I got to go through a bit of the video of last week, and after that, no, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go through Prabhuji. As a service to all the devotees, please make it a practice. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, see, imagine that, I always feel how disappointed all of you will be if I mention the first statement that I didn't get a chance to go through the purport. You will feel very, like, you will feel offended that then why are we here, right? So similarly, for other devotees' sake, all of us, we should go through properly, that not just for my understanding, to set a very good example for other devotees, everyone, right? How about other devotees? P.S. Murthy Prabhu, Reena Mataji, Sanjukta Mataji.
I want you all purports.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Shailaja Shivanna Mataji, Hare Krishna. And Vandita Tungavidya Mataji. Can we request devotees to keep the cameras on? Hare Krishna. As long as your internet bandwidth allows.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I'm today attending from a clinic, a doctor clinic.
Okay. Okay. Take care.
Hare
Aditya
Krishna, Prabhu.
Gopesh Prabhu, can I request you to keep the camera on? One by one. Sorry, we are taking one by one, Mataji, please. 1 second.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji.
Yes, Vandita. Yes, Vandita Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Fourth chapter pending, Prabhu.
Sorry, my question is totally different, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
My question is, have you gone through the text for today's discussion? Yes, Vandita Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Have you gone through the Srila Prabhupada's purports for today's verses?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So let's get started.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Gunashri Mataji.
Prabhuji, I'll just on the video in some time. Few minutes.
Okay. Sure.
Yes,
sure.
Prabhuji.
Did you go? Sorry, 1 second. Prema Priya, whoever wants to speak anything, please raise your hand. Okay. Gunashri Mataji, have you gone through the verses?
Prabhuji, no, Prabhuji. I could not go through the verses.
Okay. Please try from next time, Mataji. Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. So maybe we'll take 1 or 2 questions. Prema Priya Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, last times I have some doubts, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Nirgrantha, meaning of Nirgrantha. It says Nirgrantha. Freedom from material bondage is one thing. Then it says one with no connection with spiritual injunction, scriptural injunction. See, they're opposite, Prabhuji. See, free from material bondage means it's an elevated situation.
Yeah, I'll just try to explain. It means the devotee has gone to a stage where he doesn't need to follow like sadhaka, the scriptural rules and regulations. He has already spontaneously been used to following that. He doesn't need extensive rules and like example of Shukadev Goswami. Say the normal scriptural injunction for a grahastha is to discriminate and behave accordingly in the social interactions. But Shukadev Goswami, he was beyond that normal scriptural injunction. He was not constrained, restricted to that because of his liberated position. So that is Nirgrantha.
Prabhuji, constructing, there's one word called constructing. What is it constructing? I didn't understand it.
Let me see. Hang on. This is 10, right? 1, 7, 10.
Yeah, 1, 7, 10.
1 second.
One is no connection, constructing, nir, no? Is that, what is it, constructing?
1 second, hold on. Okay. So are you referring to the purport or are you referring to the translation?
Translation also, Prabhuji.
Okay,
In
so
purport it is mentioned. Purport it is mentioned. Constructing.
Purport it is mentioned constructing. Okay, can you tell me which paragraph?
Nil means no connection, constructing.
Okay, let me just read it out for all devotees. The word Nirgrantha conveys these ideas. One who is liberated from nescience. Second, one who has no connection with scriptural injunctions. That is, so here it is clearly mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport. That is, who is freed from the obligation of the rules and regulations mentioned in the revealed scriptures like ethics, Vedas, philosophy, psychology, and metaphysics. So basically, normally, person in the Varnashram system is required to follow various scriptural injunctions, but these personalities who are above anything and everything of this material world, like Shukadev Goswami, they are beyond these scriptural rules and regulations. So for them, these constraints are not mandatory. A capitalist and also one who is penniless. So which part you are referring to, Mataji?
There's a word in Srimad Bhagavatam. Constructing word is there, Prabhuji.
So you have to tell me which particular paragraph.
Nir.
So
the meaning of nir, N-I-R, nir.
Yeah, so
Nir.
paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Can you guide me?
My notes, Prabhuji.
Okay, then you find out the specific portion, highlight, then I will answer. Okay.
Yeah, and then one more thing, Prabhuji. It also says means foolish, low-born, misbehaved, with no entry into revealed scriptures and injunctions. So what is this foolish, low-born, misbehaved and all that, Prabhuji?
So can you highlight the specific portion in the purport?
I was also reading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Okay, so yeah, give me the link again before the session. I can go through and then answer.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So maybe we'll take one last question. Dhanya Dhameshwari Mataji, you had any question?
No, Prabhu, I made the YouTube video and the link I put in the chat.
Sure. Okay. So let's get started now quickly. So we will start with a group exercise. Okay. So we would need devotees to go through specifically text 17 till 26. Okay. 1:7 till 2:6 of chapter 7. Now we see we have moved to the third part of Canto 1. We see that the instructions by Narad Muni to Srila Vyasadeva are over, and we have shifted to the glorious birth activities up till deliverance, departure of Maharaj Parikshit. So in this, we see how Ashwathama, after the war of Kurukshetra was over, he wanted to falsely please his master Duryodhana, who was on his deathbed because of getting severe beating from Bhimasen in their duel. And in order to please his master, Ashwathama has killed 5 children of Pandavas, the sons of Draupadi, while they were not armed, they were completely asleep, not ready to fight, and they were not grown up as well. And we see that Duryodhana was very, very displeased with this particular ghastly act of Jaganya. Jaganya, Agha means a very ghastly type of activity by Ashwathama. And now we see that, let me go back to the, we see that Lord Krishna, who was playing the part of family member of the Pandavas, he has joined the Pandavas in offering their oblations to everybody who has died in the battle of Kurukshetra. Basically, Pandavas as well as Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, the parents of the Kauravas, they also went to offer the respects and water for as the oblation for the departed souls. So at that particular time, Ashwatthama has done this activity, ghastly activity, and Draupadi, being the mother of these 5 children, she is obviously lamenting due to the massacre of her sons, and she begins to cry in distress. And Arjuna, as the husband of Draupadi and a great warrior hero, he goes and tries to pacify her by giving her a promise, making her a promise that I would cut off the head of that Brahma Bandhu, of that relative of Brahmana, Ashwatthama, and I would bring back his head to you, and then you complete the last rites of your children and take your bath standing on Ashwatthama's head. So that is Arjuna's commitment. And then Arjuna starts following Ashwatthama. So that's where the group activity begins from text 17. So there are total around 8 to 9 texts. None of them are very big. Even purports are small. Few texts don't even have purports. So we need devotees to go through this text from 17 till 26, 1-7 till 2-6, and then come up with few specific points on the difference in mentality of Arjuna and Ashwatthama. Like Arjuna has been going through a very difficult time because of the Kurukshetra war, and post that Ashwatthama had done another ghastly activity, killing all the Pandavas' 5 children. So obviously it's a very difficult situation for him as a warrior, as a father. Similarly, we will see now once Arjuna starts pursuing Ashwatthama, he also becomes very afraid for his own life. So the activity is, all the devotees, please try to note down as part of your group discussion few important points from the behavior of Ashwatthama versus that of Arjuna. How do these two personalities differ in handling of their stressful situations? Is it clear, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, the question, the task?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So now I would make breakout rooms, around 3 breakout rooms, and specifically we would like to request devotees to speak who have not spoken, who don't usually speak. So please expect everybody to participate in the discussion so that anybody we can ask to conclude, to give your group's conclusions. Okay, so we have to have 2 particular columns. One column depicting the thought process of Arjuna, how a devotee approaches the stressful situation, and second column depicting the thought process of Ashwatthama and how a person who has got totally distracted from the path, or a karmi, how do they react to the stressful situations. Okay, and we can take about 7-8 minutes and 2 minutes for conclusion for each group. Okay, any questions, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, Hare Krishna, on the task? Subbarao, Prabhu, Rajashri Mataji, and other devotees, any question on the task? All right, so let me make the groups, breakout rooms. Please don't take more than 7-8 minutes to discuss. Okay, maybe 3-4 minutes to go through the verses and 3 minutes to discuss. So try to finish in 7-8 minutes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, all good. Can we start? So first we'll request devotees from group 1, Ananda Prada Indulekha Mataji, Anand Vilas Keshav Prabhu, Devika Shetty Mataji, Divya Rukmini Mataji, and all other devotees. Who would be the 1 or 2 devotees?
It is Gunashri Mataji, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Gunashri.
Gunashri Mataji.
Okay, fine. Let me.
We'll add up in case any points are missed.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Prabhuji, it is like here when we see the thought process of Arjuna, when we see in these verses, it's like he was completely dependent on Lord Krishna, and he had full faith in Lord, and he's surrendering to Lord out there. He's praying to Lord, and he's also acknowledging the blessings of Lord Krishna out there. So a devotee is of Lord is always fearless, and he's under the protection of Lord. So he's asking for Lord for the direction.
Yes, and we see that the situation is overwhelming even for Arjuna, being a great warrior. It is not that he is all clear. He is in fact not even clear what is happening. He is seeing a blaze everywhere. Thank you, Gunashri Mataji. And how about Ashwathama?
Ashwathama, in case of Ashwathama, he was like a covered. He was I would say he had half knowledge, and the word which is used in particularly in verse number 19 is Dvijit Majaha. That is
Dvija Atmajaha.
Dviji Atmajaha. Okay. Dviji Atmajaha. Okay. And he's not qualified as a Brahmana out there, and he's not dependent on a Lord, and he's running away when the situation what is created through the
See, he has already done.
He has no faith in the Lord, and he's not acting in a proper way out there.
Yeah, so he's not owning his mistake, Ashwathama. He's whatever first mistake he had done, which was Hare Krishna. Devika Mataji, just help with the background sound.
Sure.
So he first of all he has done a mistake of killing Draupadi's children in sleep, which is wrong from all Kshatriya code of conduct point of view. So rather than owning his mistake, he is doing one mistake after another. He has in panic released a astra which is capable of destroying the entire universe. So which is a excess thing. So instead of owning his mistake, he is not mindful about making all other living entities pay for his mistake by releasing the Brahmastra. So that is very, very irresponsible. Thank you, Gunashri Mataji. We'll request few devotees, any other devotees from group 1 who want to add something.
Regarding Arjuna, regarding Arjuna, I think in purport 26 it is given that he has presented respectful prayers to Lord Krishna even though he was a friend of him.
Sorry, repeat that again, Mataji.
Yeah, in purport 26, Prabhu, he has presented respectful prayers to Lord Krishna. In spite of his being a friend of an Arjuna, intimate friend of an Arjuna. So you wanted to show, this is a general information you wanted to show to the world.
Yes.
Yeah, so, it shows he's a great devotee of a Lord.
Yes. So as a great devotee of the Lord, when the situation was overwhelming, he did not try anything funny or silly, the way Ashwathama did. When he realized it's beyond his comprehension what is happening, immediately surrendered to Krishna and started offering him prayers for guidance, what to do. Thank you, Mataji. So any devotees from group 2, which is Adidev Gopesh Prabhu, Dhanya Dhameshwari Mataji, Ishwari Murari Priya Mataji, Rajashri Mataji, and so on. We will request devotees who have not spoken?
Am I in this group, Prabhu?
P.S. Murthy Prabhu, yes, Prabhuji, you are in this group.
Yes,
Prabhu, can I just, if the question is clear to me, Prabhu, you asked, what is the difference between the attitude of Arjuna and Ashwatthama?
Yes,
Is that
Prabhuji.
right? Prabhu?
Yes, correct.
The basic difference is, Prabhu, the first thing is Ashwatthama did not know how to retract the weapon once he has invoked it. First, and the second one was he invoked it being afraid of his imminent death. Second difference, major difference, and which Arjuna would not do. And the last thing is he helplessly implored it improperly and irreligiously, which Arjuna would not do. Irreligiously, he would not do, Arjuna. Whereas Ashwatthama did that and he directed it towards the womb of Uttara.
Okay, so just to clarify for all the devotees, he has not yet sent Brahmastra on Uttara. Okay, this first Brahmastra is targeting mainly to counteract Arjuna, because Arjun had started pursuing Ashwatthama and he was afraid for his own life. Ashwatthama was afraid. So in that panic-stricken situation, he has counteracted using a very disproportionate force, which is Brahmastra. And Arjuna was pursuing for the first mistake which Ashwatthama had done. So now he has done the second mistake, which is releasing Brahmastra. Okay, he has not yet attacked Uttara's womb, just to clarify. It will come shortly. Thank you, P.S. Murthy Prabhuji. Any other devotee from group 2 wants to add anything? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Adidev Gopesh Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so basically here we can see that there are two different reactions to the same reactions. You can see that Arjuna, he offers prayers to Lord Shri Krishna and he asks for guidance, whereas Ashwatthama on the other hand, he tries to escape from the situation and he tries to release the Brahmastra, which is a very powerful weapon.
Yes.
So when Arjuna sees the Brahmastra, he prays to the Lord like what is going on, and then he releases his Brahmastra to counteract the Brahmastra.
Yes,
and this makes a very big it's like the whole universe gets heated, and in the sun planet, the fire of destruction time, what fire happens, that got elated, and like the whole universe is like shaken because of this astra. And then when is ordered to release the astra, Arjuna is able to release the astra, whereas Ashwatthama is not able to release. Not release, sorry, retract the astra.
Yes.
So we can see that Arjuna as a devotee, how he reacts, whereas Ashwatthama, how he reacts.
Yes, slowly, Prabhuji. So we'll take one by one point. Thank you, Prabhuji. What Adidev Prabhuji mentioned, first point, that as a devotee, Arjuna had that patience, even in that overwhelming situation, to take time to address Lord Krishna, to pray to him. So a devotee is never impulsive in his action, because if we stay impulsive, the discretion will go for a toss, like it happened with Ashwatthama. He was very structured in his thought. It is beyond my comprehension. Let me ask Krishna what should be done, what should not be done. And you see, there are almost 3 to 4 verses of prayers that Arjuna offers to Lord Krishna. So this is the way a devotee approaches the Lord. He is not like, you first save me, then we will see what else can be done. That is not Arjuna's ask. Arjuna's ask is, if you please, you let me know what should be done, because I'm not able to gauge what is this. He doesn't even know where is this coming from, the glare. Thank you, Adidev Prabhu. We'll have last set of devotees from group 3. Can we request devotees who have not spoken at all? And there are many, including Vandita, Tunga Vidya Mataji, Reena Mataji. K.K. Mukherjee Prabhu, Subbarao Prabhuji, and others. Vipin Vilas Prabhuji. Who will be presenting?
Somebody else, because you know that I can't read.
Sure. No problem. For other devotees, no problem. You please keep your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, one small doubt can I ask?
Yes.
Radhika.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, what I'm not able to understand is, okay, he sent a Brahmastra to save himself. But that Brahmastra will kill Arjuna, but it will kill him also, no, Prabhu? Or he will be safe and only Arjuna will get killed?
It was foolish on Ashwatthama's part, because the purport mentions that Brahmastra was capable of destroying the cosmic manifestation, which would mean obviously his own life was also in danger. But it is just that because Arjuna has started pursuing how to stop him, so release the ultimate weapon, which was completely disproportionate. So
that means he would also be destroyed, but he wants to destroy before he gets destroyed. Is that more of a mentality?
Correct. So basically, it looks from Srila Prabhupada's purport that Ashwatthama had lost his reasoning and was acting in a panicky mode.
Sure.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So who will be presenting? Vipin Vilas Prabhu, are you comfortable? Subbarao Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Dandas Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, if we compare the Arjuna and Aswasthama, so Arjuna is a pure devotee, heart of pure devotee, while Aswasthama, we can say, is a non-devotee, or it's a Brahma Bandhu. He has not followed any rules and regulation of the war. While Arjuna, right from the beginning, at the start of war, he surrendered completely to the Lord Krishna, and as per the instruction of spiritual master, as and when required, he has followed the orders of the Lord Krishna. While in case of Aswasthama, in the fearful situation, he has done this ghastly act, and because he was knowing he and everybody will be distracted. Still, this one. While seeing this situation, Arjuna immediately asked Lord Krishna what to do and what is this. Then, as per the instruction of Lord Krishna only, he told that he again to counteract the Brahmastra, Arjuna also through the Brahmastra, and both retracted. So in all this situation also, he has taken the permission or guidance from the Lord Krishna. So this is one condition. So basically, Arjuna was fearless throughout the war, while Aswasthama, while Arjuna was chasing him, he was fearful, and in this fearful condition, he took this decision. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So now let's go through a small table, which I have prepared just to consolidate everything that we discussed. Give me 1 minute.
Prabhuji, just one point, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
In spite of knowing that what he was doing was absolutely not proper, he had Ashwatthama had the audacity to still pray to Lord. I mean, he offers prayers and then he releases the Brahmastra.
Which verse did you see Ashwatthama's prayers?
20th.
Ashwatthama didn't pray, Mataji. Arjuna prayed.
No.
Ashwatthama doesn't pray. Arjuna only prayed.
No, he purifies, he sanctifies himself.
No, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu. Actually, what she's telling is, she's not talking about prayers. She's talking about he sanctifies the holy water to release that. To release Brahmastra, this is like a prerequisite.
Yeah, that is a process for releasing.
Sanctifies, Not to Krishna, but I mean, he wants to still feel that what he's doing is right. I mean,
that is the process for releasing, Mataji. Yeah, so it is not, just to clarify, that was not a sanity in Ashwatthama. It was just the process that needed to be followed for him to release the Brahmastra. How he had. So let me go back to the slides. Make it big. 1 second. Hold on. Oops. Yeah. So Ashwatthama saw Arjuna coming, was fearful, overwhelmed, in a precarious situation. Horses were tired. Seeing no other alternative, he released Brahmastra, and which was disproportionate in force. It was not a targeted weapon. It would have, as several of you mentioned, that it would have destroyed entire cosmic manifestation, including Ashwatthama himself, he would not have got saved also. When Arjuna saw Brahmastra, the dangerous glare coming out of it, he was also overwhelmed, but he took shelter of Lord Krishna. He did not act impulsively, and he offered beautiful prayers to the Lord, and only based on Lord's guidance, he took the next step. So this is the difference between a person of divine mentality, a devotee like Arjuna, versus a person representing demoniac mentality in this case. So it's very harsh word, but a fact that Ashwatthama had got completely disgraceful, and also in one of the talks, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that he had become like a blot on the glorious lineage coming from Dronacharya because of his one mistake after another. And all of us will be shocked to see in subsequent verses, this is not his last mistake. So first one, killing the children. Second one, releasing the Brahmastra on Arjun. Third one is yet to happen, as we will see it in a while. And he was full of rage. That means to avenge his father's death, he was willing to go to any extent and act inappropriately. As we can see, the third mistake is even more grievous than the first two. Oops. Yeah. Yes, and in terms of the prayers, we see that we had seen this last time as well. First part of the prayer is glorifying the Lord, glorifying his supreme position and his name, form, qualities, pastimes, etc. Then submit one's own helpless condition in front of the Lord, and then pray for what is our need. So Arjuna did not, although the time was very less and situation was overwhelming, he took his own time to address Krishna properly and then submit his petition, which was for his own protection, if he so wishes. He glorified the Lord as that person who specifically descends to protect his devotees and to annihilate the demons and to establish the proper religious principles. So you can go through this text later. Yes, so this part will come to in a while. Any other questions, comments, inputs, Prabhuji's on this particular part of the difference in behavior of Arjuna and Ashwatthama? So now, before we move to the next slide, how the episode proceeds further, let's go back to Srimad Bhagavatam. We are at text 27th. Yeah, then we see Lord Krishna guiding Arjuna how to act by releasing his own Brahmastra to counteract and then retract both the weapons. So what happens next is Ashwatthama is bound by Arjuna just like an animal, and then he is brought to the camp of the Pandavas. He doesn't immediately kill him because Arjuna's commitment to Draupadi was that he will bind this Brahma Bandhu, this Brahma Atmaja. He was the relative of a Brahmana who had completely disgraced his family and his lineage by his ghastly sinful activities, and then brings Ashwatthama in front of Draupadi. So we will come to that and then proceed. Yes. Any devotee would like to read through Prabhuji's, Mataji's?
Can I, Prabhuji?
Hang on. Sorry, who is this, Prabhuji? Subbarao,
Yes,
Prabhu? Okay,
yes,
yes,
Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
Can I read translation or purport, Prabhuji?
You can go ahead with the translation and purport. We will take pause wherever we need to go through any detail. You can start
After binding Ashwatthama, translation is by divine grace, says Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After binding Ashwatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Both Arjuna and Lord Sri Krishna are disturbed here in an angry mood. But Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas the eyes of the Lord are like lotuses. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not on the same level. The Lord is transcendence, and thus he is absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the anger of a conditioned living being within the modes of qualitative material nature. Because he is absolute, both his anger and pleasure are the same. His anger is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotee, because that is his transcendental nature. Therefore, even if he is angry,
the object
of anger is blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Bhagavatam mentions the difference between the anger of an ordinary person. Now, Arjuna is definitely not an ordinary person. He's a great devotee of the Lord. But Bhagavatam is teaching us how Lord Krishna, in all circumstances, he is never under the three modes of material nature, including when he is depicting a quality externally which falls under three modes, like being angry. So Arjuna's eyes are mentioned as his eyes were red hot like copper, whereas Lord Krishna's eyes, because he was also very angry at Ashwatthama, Lord Krishna's eyes are mentioned as lotus eyes. That means Lord is always transcendental. Even when he is angry, that anger will result in good for the living entity. It will never result in any destruction for the living entity. Can devotees think of any incidents from the scriptures, from Srila Prabhupada's book, of Lord Krishna's anger resulting in good for the living entity? Any thoughts, any examples? Maybe we can take a minute or so to think. Think of any incident, any example from the scriptures where Krishna became angry at any particular person, but that resulted in that person's upliftment. It did not result
Bhishma.
in
Angry on Bhishma during the Kurukshetra war.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I am not able to understand who is speaking. Subbarao Prabhuji, is it you?
He is angry on Bhishma and Kurukshetra war, Prabhuji.
Yes. So Lord Krishna getting angry at Bhishma, and subsequently, basically Bhishma realized that my purpose is fulfilled, which is Lord Krishna to break his own promise, and subsequently offered prayers. Yes,
Prabhuji,
thank you.
On Durvasa Muni, Prabhuji, on Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni, yes. So Lord was genuinely angry and upset with Durvasa Muni for having offended his great devotee Amrish and threatening his life, Amrish's life. So yes. Lord Vishnu was really, really upset. But still, he did not take any step which would cause Durvasa Muni's destruction. But subsequent result was Durvasa Muni uplifted himself. Murli Prabhu?
Shishupala Prabhuji.
Yes, so Shishupal is a very glaring and prominent example that this person was born to blaspheme Lord Krishna. His first words were Krishna's blasphemy, but still when he went beyond his threshold, Lord Krishna was smiling, and when Lord Krishna took corrective action, Shishupal got liberated. So maybe we'll take one or two more examples. Sadatushta Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shishupala was one of the example which I was thinking. Second example is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu getting angry on Jagai Madai.
Yes.
And that can be taken in this context.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice example. We see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes were also red hot when Nityananda Prabhu was offended, not just offended, he was physically assaulted by Madhai, and it is mentioned that his forehead was bleeding of Lord Nityananda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really, really upset. But thankfully, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his mercy to Jagai and Madhai both. So maybe we'll take one or two more examples.
Jarasandha.
One by one.
Jarasandha.
Jarasandha. Okay, but Krishna being angry at Jarasandha, I have not heard. Like if you are referring to Jarasandha attacking Mathura, Krishna used to kill all his soldiers but leave Jarasandha alone. So he was humiliating Jarasandha basically. And Jarasandha was begging him to kill, but Krishna was not, because Jarasandha was helping Krishna bring up all the demonic people together. Maybe we'll take one example. Lalita Vinodini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. When he took the form of Narasimhadev to kill Hiranyakashipu.
Yes, Narasimhadev was again very, very upset and angry at Hiranyakashipu for offending his own devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, pure devotee, time and again, unlimited number of times, and threatening Prahlad Maharaj's life. So he was very angry and upset. Radhika Mataji, Rasaragini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Actually, in Putana's case, it is clearly explained in Krishna book where he is angry, so he closes the eye because she had killed the children. But however, he is so graceful that he offers mother position. So this is said in the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes. So the Acharyas explained Lord Krishna's closing of eyes for Putana because the first demon he was killing was a woman. And yes, thank you, Mataji. Dhanya Dameshwari Mataji, maybe one last.
Parashuram Prabhu killing the Kshatriyas, that is who killed his father actually in anger.
Okay, hang on. Repeat that again, Mataji.
Lord Parshuram Prabhu.
Parshuram. Oh, yeah. Yes. Parshuram's anger towards the Kshatriyas for killing Jamadagni. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So we saw these examples as part of our discussion. So conclusion is, Lord Krishna's anger is not ordinary anger like you and me. At least I can say about me that it is transcendental. It ultimately results in the benefit for the conditioned soul. It never results in the harm or destruction for the conditioned soul. Now, one particular point that I have heard from senior devotees, very important for all of us to also consider applying in our own life, is that anger is a symptom of which mode of material nature? Hare Krishna.
Passion.
Yeah. Ignorance. Anger is a symptom of ignorance. Basically, it drives us into ignorance. So what I've heard from devotees, and of course, this is easier said than done, is devotees should cultivate the skill of showing as being angry, but not really letting their consciousness get spoiled because of getting angry. So say, for example, as a parent, if we want to discipline the child, we should be able to show externally that we are angry without actually getting angry. Because if we actually get angry, as we just mentioned, it will drive us to the lower modes of material nature, and action that will happen in the mode of ignorance will always cause us great lamentation later on. It will never something fruitful will come out of it if we really become angry and we act in that particular position. So great devotees on this particular matter have mentioned that a devotee should cultivate should cultivate the behavior of being able to show anger externally just for disciplining if we are in that authority, but not really being angry. Okay. So now we proceed with this episode. Lord Krishna is clearly telling Arjun that you should not show mercy to him, just kill him. That's it. And Ashwatthama is time and again being referred to here as relative of a Brahmana, not as a Brahmana. Of course, if you go to few verses back, you will find the word Brahmana also mentioned. But Brahma Atmaja, Brahma Bandhu, these come more prominently in describing Ashwatthama, meaning his activities were not at all fitting to a Brahmana. So we proceed. Yes, and in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that how if a person, even if he is not born in a Brahmana family, if he has the qualities, he should be accepted as such. But even if a person is born, if quality-wise he is lower, like in terms of his actions, then he should not be considered as a Brahmana. And the example is typically given of a high court, the son of a high court judge or son of a doctor. They cannot directly be called doctor. They have to first qualify themselves. So we proceed. Yeah, and then Krishna describes various types of aggressors, and Prabhupada mentions who are also which are also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1. And such aggressors should be, they are punishable by death. So he says, don't spare him off. And Lord Krishna also mentions to Arjun that a cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions. What does the last statement mean? It means that if such persons who have done ghastly activities, they are not punished in this life, the subsequent punishment which will subsequently come, it will be much, much more harsher on that person. So it is better that they get punished and get purified immediately rather than suffering for too long later on. So we proceed, all of you can read these purports later on. Prabhupada explains about the animal slaughter, how as per the scriptures, even killing an animal is also considered first degree murder. So first degree is a US term basically, and second degree, third degree means, did I mention it opposite way? First, second, third, but actually one of the degrees is, it has the highest punishment, and third degree means it's like a manslaughter. That means the person did not intend to kill, but somehow the victim got killed. Then the punishment will be slightly lesser. So we have one important point to go through. Yes. Now, Arjuna brings this Ashwatthama, who is Brahma Bandhu, in front to the Pandavas' camp, and he brings Ashwatthama in front of Draupadi. And this is a very instructive last part of the episode in this particular chapter, where we again see Draupadi followed by Yudhishthir, followed by Nakul Sahadev, followed by Bhimasen. They analyzing the situation based on their own good intelligence and giving different inputs to Arjuna in terms of what should be done, what should not be done. So specifically, we would go a bit more into detail of the analysis done by two personalities. First one is Draupadi, and second one below Draupadi is Yudhishthir Maharaj, and learn from their analysis of the situation. So just like we saw a while ago, in stressful, overwhelming situation, how Arjuna was still very structured in taking shelter of Lord Krishna, not acting impulsively. We will learn from the example of Draupadi, how in a very emotionally overwhelming situation, still she does not lose her sense of discrimination. So this is very instructive. So we are left with bit short time, but this is an important section. Again, we will have a group activity, and the number of texts are slightly longer, but purports are not too long. So we need devotees to quickly scan through text 35 till around 52 and understand the arguments put by all these personalities, specifically Draupadi, Yudhishthir Maharaj. These two form the major part of the discussion. And then there is one verse to describe for Nakul Sahadev and then for Bhimasen as well. And you will have to scan the translation as well as the purport of these verses and list the arguments from both sides. So there are two groups now in the overall Pandava family. One group of persons who are for Ashwatthama to be killed by Arjuna because of the ghastly nature of his acts. And second group of persons is for forgiving Ashwatthama, he to be forgiven. And we need devotees to write specific points from both sides. Say, for example, Draupadi, if she is asking Ashwatthama to be forgiven, then what are her arguments, what are her points. Or if Bhimasen is asking Ashwatthama to be killed, what are the arguments? Any questions, comments, Prabhuji's, Mataji's on this? Hare Krishna.
Within the group, 2 sets, Prabhu, or totally one group for, one group against?
Hang on, that is a good idea, because see, major part of the discussion happens from Draupadi's side and from Yudhishthir's side. So one group has higher number of points. So I think let's cover both sides, both parties for 3 groups. Is that all right?
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So devotees can start reading, and I activate the breakout rooms now. Hare
Sure,
Krishna.
and attendance to be sent also, not sent so far.
Yeah, Mataji had shared earlier, Rohini Mataji.
Oh, I'm sorry, I think we got.
Okay.
And we request devotees to spend about 8-9 minutes, so we have sufficient time to discuss the points. Okay, don't take too long. Hare Krishna. Any other questions before we start the breakout rooms? Hare Krishna. All right, let's start the breakout rooms.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sadatushta Prabhuji. Just
Prabhuji.
1 second.
So can we start adding more points, Prabhu?
Wait. I have to close the meeting rooms.
In this group, there was no discussion only. We are all reading.
No, because you did not join the breakout room.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Mistake.
Okay, so let's start with group 3, if that is okay, so that they get the chance to present first, and then we'll have group 2 and group 1. So who will be the devotees from group 3?
Reena Mataji said she'll be presenting. Hare Krishna.
Okay. 1 second, just hold on before. Yeah, yes, Reena Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So why Ashwatthama is not to be killed, I'll be telling first, Prabhuji. Like according to Draupadi, so she is giving 6 points. So first one is Dharmyam, because Ashwatthama is the son of Brahmana. So that is the first point. And Nyayam, because they have learned the archery from the Dronacharya. And even though Ashwatthama is the son of Dronacharya, so we have to consider him also as the guru. That is the Nyayam, we should not kill Ashwatthama. Then Sakarunam. Third one is Sakarunam, because Krupi, she didn't do sati because she thought she has a son, a live son. So that's why if they kill Ashwatthama, she also will be losing the son. And Draupadi, she has already lost all her 5 sons, and she know the situation, how the mother condition will be if she lost all her sons. So that is Sakarunam. That's why she said not to kill Ashwatthama. And then Nirvalikam. So Nirvalikam is without duplicity in dharma. Whatever she is telling, there is no dvandva in her actually. She is telling that Ashwatthama not to be killed. She is not in duplicity mind. And fourth one is Sama Mahat. Sorry, that is fifth one is Sama Mahat. So Sama Mahat is sorry, I told this already, Prabhuji, that Krupi, she is thinking Krupi should not become like her. That is Sama. Then last one is Raja Dharma. She is thinking not only of the present condition, she is thinking of the future also. If they kill the Brahmana, so if Brahmana, they curse the Raja Kulam, so it will be there for the future also, the effect will be stays for the future also. So she will be thinking the effects of the future also, if they kill the Ashwatthama, Prabhuji. So this is why Ashwatthama should not be killed. And why Ashwatthama to be killed, I have to tell Prabhuji, or
maybe we let one more group explain that, Mataji. Okay?
Thank you.
If there, Hare Krishna.
If my group
Hare Krishna,
anyone wants to add any points, they can add.
Beautiful points. So 45 especially talks about, a widow's. sorry, widow is a widow only in name if there is a son of her husband, which means that as long as Ashwatthama is there, he is the Pratibalam, which means representation or representative of Drona. So therefore, she has not taken up Sati. But the moment Ashwatthama also dies, it means literally she will have to die. So that was one feeling. And also in the same lines, whatever she had explained, that the bigger challenge is that she did not want the wife of Karna, right? Dronacharya, to cry like him. And the members of the royal family should also be worshipped. So this was also the same line. And Brahmana is considered as a higher caste, 48 text. Therefore, it cannot be killed because he is a Brahmin no matter what, because that will destroy the entire Brahmana Kula family. So, and the confidential art of military, right, was taught by Dronacharya as per 44 text. So that adds more that it should not be killed. These are the reasons why he should not be killed. And also why should be killed is whatever I told, Brahmin, but he is not Brahmin, he is a Dvijabandhu. So he does not qualify to be a Brahmin, so he should be killed. And the Guru himself is called an Guru only when he is standing up to mark. But this person was not, cannot be a representative because he is not standing up to the mark. One of the 6 aggressors can be killed, and he is majorly, kill children. That is the biggest aggressor. He can never tolerate adharma to other. So that way, Arjuna is also a devotee, and he has to address Draupadi not only as a wife, but also as a devotee of Krishna, and he cannot tolerate this adharma which has happened to her of losing all the children. So he has to, as a devotee as well as a Kshatriya, have to do justice to the situation. This is my submission, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Rasaragini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I add
Actually, Prabhuji, what I understand is that
sorry, 1 second. We'll have devotees who have not spoken first cover, then you add Mataji in the end. Okay. So Sadhatushta Prabhu, you were saying something?
Yes, Prabhu. A couple of views from me is, in any given situation, there are contrasting view, even from our previous group we have seen. So how a divine person, how a demonic person acts or behaves. So here, whatever Ashwatthama has done is a demonic act, and he deserves punishment. But the Pandavas, being a divine, they have to follow the religious principles. Ashwatthama has not followed, and he is one of the aggressor. But here, looking at these purports, we understand divine person like Pandava have to follow these religious principle, and clearly says Brahmana is not to be killed by his body, but cut the hairs and removing the jewels. That itself is a death for a Brahmana. So a proper punishment has been given. And from the examples of Narada Muni, we have realized that any given situation in our life, we have to consider as a mercy of the Lord. So whatever situation the Pandavas are also going through today, that also could be a mercy of the Lord. And that way, they have to continue to follow the religious principles and directions of the Supreme Lord. So this way should not be killed. That's what I wanted to add, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Just one point for caution, that accepting the difficulties as the will of the Lord is one thing, but as a Kshatriya, it was also their responsibility to establish the proper code. Okay, as we will also see as part of Lord Krishna's explanation. I hope some of the members also cover the points mentioned by Lord Krishna about punishing Ashwatthama, like Rasaragini Mataji mentioned few. So we hope that other devotees cover Lord Krishna's perspective as well. So the religious perspective is true, that as a they should follow the path given so many reasons from Draupadi's side, but the other side also we should understand. Okay, can we request devotees from group 2, Hare Krishna, to try and stress upon cover in detail the points from Lord Krishna's side, from Bhimasena's side, if you are prepared. So Draupadi's side is easier to understand. One more thing, the points which Reena Mataji mentioned from this verse, if we read carefully, these are, yes, definitely Yudhishthir Maharaj supporting, but all these subjectives sorry, not subjectives, the adjectives of Draupadi's action are being put forth by Yudhishthir Maharaj. Okay, so dharmyam, nyayam, and sakarunam, nirvyalikam, all these are put forth from Yudhishthir Maharaj's side. He's basically supporting Draupadi. So who will be the devotees, Hare Krishna, from group 2?
Manat Mataji, will you be speaking, Mataji? Otherwise, I will give some 2 points, Prabhu, because Mataji, are you willing to speak?
You can present. If I have any point to add, I'll surely add. You can present.
I will give 2 points with respect to Krishna's thing. Krishna was saying about what the words given to Draupadi by Arjuna, that before that is he won't catch hold of Ashwatthama and he will give he kill and then give the head. Actually, that was the thing we have seen in the earlier discussion. So he is recollecting the same, so he should be punished. He was insisting for that. So when you check for the perfect 40, actually there Krishna was testing the pure devotee. Actually, in fact, Arjuna is no doubt of a pure devotee, but still he speaks in favor of killing Ashwatthama outwardly, not from the internally. Actually, so this is what I want to tell you. Actually, how actually that devotee will come out of that, what compassion level Arjuna will be having towards Ashwatthama. This he wants to stress actually. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Manoj.
Yes, Manat Mataji, you can add whatever you want.
Hare Krishna, any other point? Manat Mataji, you want to add from your side? Or any other devotees from group 2?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I'll add in text 44, the purport is saying that
44, you said, right? Okay. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
1 second, Prabhuji. 1 second. Here, Draupadi is saying like as Dronacharya was the guru and he taught the things of like spirituality and weapon, everything to the Arjuna and the other Pandavas. So it is their like they need to give respect to Dronacharya and even his son. Like they need to give the mercy to him also, and that's why she said not to kill him, punish him, but not to kill him.
Thank you, Sanjukta Mataji. Any devotees or group want to cover Lord Krishna's points?
Hare Krishna,
Nobody?
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Jagadananda Prabhu.
So one important point what I saw was the person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid or devoid of his chariot. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. So, but even then, Ashwatthama did all this. That's why Krishna told that he should not be pardoned.
Yes. Yes. So these are the points.
One more, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
About 38, verse 38, it says that Arjuna promised Draupadi that he will bring the head of the killer of her sons, right?
Yes.
And then, and Krishna very clearly says that whether I have personally heard you promise Draupadi, and that is one of the reasons for asking him to be executed, also, to keep so that his devotee can keep his word.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. And all of us will be amazed to see how Srila Prabhupada explains subsequently that Krishna is definitely upset with Ashwatthama, no doubt about it. But ultimately, his expectation is from his topmost devotee, Arjuna, to act in balance. So Krishna is putting it as a test in front of Arjuna, as we can see from Srila Prabhupada's purport, subsequent verses, that Krishna expects Arjuna to clear this test, act in a way that you are able to satisfy both the parties. So, Usha Kamat Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I want to add one point here.
the war was over. And it was a futile action on the part of Ashwatthama to kill these innocent children. And it was totally against all the rules of a fair war, you know. So if you look at fairness of religion and fairness of war, he had broken, all the rules. So I think Krishna was in favor of killing him because of this.
Yes, Krishna was in favor, and basically Ashwatthama was driven by vengeance for his father's death, and subsequently was ready to do anything and everything to fulfill his
Can I add
revenge.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, P.S. Murthy Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Sri Krishna says clearly that he may be a Brahmana, but he is an aggressor. Number one. So he has to be killed. But you have to satisfy both the parties. You have to satisfy me and Bhimasena. At the same time, you have to satisfy Draupadi and Yudhishthira.
Yes.
So he is giving him a balanced opinion. He is also saying that kill him at the end, though he may be Brahmana. So he is very calculated and giving his firm opinion that he has to be, Arjuna has to be finally balanced in the total output.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So in the concluding part of both sides' arguments, this is what Lord Krishna says. He expects Arjuna to balance both sides. So maybe we'll have few devotees from group 1 and then we go back to the slides. Ananda Prada Indulekha Mataji, are you comfortable? Devika Shetty Mataji, both of you have not spoken. If you are comfortable. Murli Prabhu. Or any other devotees. From
What did you say?
Group 1, anyone else wants to give their inputs? Gunashri Mataji.
Most of them in the discussion actually.
Okay,
Our
okay.
representative have done that.
Okay, fine.
Prabhuji,
sorry,
yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, one more point with regards to Lord Krishna's was like the purport which mentioned of text 37, where Lord Krishna says that like a life for a life, or the is a punishment. It's like for the betterment of that person itself. So if a cruel and rich person, I want to say is like a life for life is just a punishment for the person whose cruelty and shameless lives at the cost of another's life. So it is the death sentence is good for the person itself so that he does not go to the hell.
Yes. So this is a very important point, that even if he is spared, but the sinful act he has done is very severe. If we leave him now, it will cause him issues later on. Maybe we'll have one devotee, Devika Shetty Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, in the purport 52, I want to know some explanation from you regarding is explaining the translation Chaturbhuja, or the personality of the Godhead, after hearing the words from Bhima and Draupadi. You want to represent both the arguments, right? That is the meaning of it.
Correct. Hang on, we'll read through. You can read from here, Mataji.
Yes. Lord Shri Krishna had two arms, and why he is designated as a four-armed is explained by Sridhar Swami. Both Bhima and Draupadi held opposite views about killing Ashwatthama. Bhima wanted him to be immediately killed, whereas Draupadi wanted to save him. We can imagine Bhima ready to kill while Draupadi is obstructing him. And in order to prevent both of them, the Lord discovered another two arms. Originally, the primeval Lord Sri Krishna displayed only two arms, but in his Narayana feature, he exhibits four. In his Narayana feature, he resides with his devotees in the Vaikuntha planets, while in his original Sri Krishna feature, he resides in the Krishna Loka planet far, far above the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual key. Therefore, if Sri Krishna is called Chaturbhujaha, there is no contradiction. If need be, he can display hundreds of forms as he exhibits in his Vishwarupa shown to Arjuna. Therefore, one who can display hundreds and thousands of arms can also manifest four whenever needed. When Arjuna was perplexed about what to do with Ashwatthama, Lord Sri Krishna, as the very dear friend of Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter just to make a solution. And he was smiling also.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So here, as we can see from Srila Prabhupada's purport, that Lord Krishna is expecting Arjuna to satisfy both the parties. And that's why he's smiling. Basically, Prabhupada also mentions in the purport in the subsequent verses that Lord Krishna wanted to test Arjuna. And he had complete faith that Arjuna has got the spiritual intelligence so that he can act exactly in a way which will be right as per religious principles, and he will be able to satisfy both the parties. So let us quickly go through some...
One question, Prabhuji. I mean, maybe it's a hypothetical. Okay, in all the times we have seen that Yudhishthira was the one who always took the decision, right, on the behalf of Pandavas. Most of the times, okay, because he was the king. He was the king, and you.
Yeah. So basically, go ahead.
In this case, Krishna is asking Arjuna. I had this doubt. Why?
So when you say, Prabhuji, that Yudhishthir Maharaj took the decisions, yes, all the Pandava brothers, they were subservient to the will of Yudhishthir Maharaj, but that is not absolute. If we say absolute, many a times Krishna, or based on Krishna's will, even his pure devotee like Arjuna have also overridden. But in general, it's true that amongst the Pandava brothers, Yudhishthir Maharaj has asked. I'll give you an example. Say, for example, when Yudhishthir Maharaj berated Arjun for not coming out to save Abhimanyu, and because he was stuck, basically Yudhishthir Maharaj insulted Arjun by saying that hell with your valor and all, you didn't help us to save Abhimanyu, and you better give up the Gandiva bow. Arjuna was immediately furious and was about to kill Yudhishthir, and Krishna stopped. So while what you mentioned is true in general, ultimately whose will prevailed was Krishna's will in case of Pandavas. It was Krishna who pacified Arjuna at that particular point of time. Otherwise, Yudhishthir was sure to be killed at that particular point in time. So coming back to our discussion, we see different points put forth by Lord Krishna, as many of you pointed, that Krishna reminds Arjuna of his promise made to Draupadi that he would bring back the head. Then he points about Ashwatthama's social position of he being a blot on the glorious family of Dronacharya, having displeased his own master Duryodhan. Then Krishna also reminds Arjuna of his own sense of duty as a Kshatriya. And the examples are also given in the purport that Krishna has also put various other devotees at test. Say, for example, for gopis, he tested them by appearing before them in the four-handed Vishnu form when Krishna had disappeared from the Rasa Leela, just to check whether they do get overwhelmed by the reverence of seeing Lord Vishnu. Similarly, he also put Prahlad Maharaj through severe test. And not just before Hiranyakashipu existed, but even after Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Narsimhadev, not as a test, but Narsimhadev did ask Prahlad Maharaj to ask for a boon. And Prahlad Maharaj came out with flying colors by refusing to ask anything. Finally, Lord had to literally plead. So Krishna had put Arjun to test here. And there is a quote by Srila Prabhupada. Now, I have not put the quote here. Any one of you can check what is the quote by Srila Prabhupada in text 40 purport. I think it is related to Lord Krishna putting his various exalted devotees to test. Then Reena Mataji very much in detail, nicely covered 6 different reasons offered by Draupadi whose nature Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport as very mild and compassionate. She, in spite of Ashwatthama committing such a ghastly act towards her children, she is very respectful and offers her respects to Ashwatthama as the son of a Brahmana. And the 6 reasons which Draupadi offered for him not to be killed are from across various texts. That he is the son of our martial teacher, Dronacharya. So it is obligation of Pandavas towards their teacher not to kill his son. Then she is compassionate towards Dronacharya's wife, Krupi. And Mataji also mentioned that Dronacharya's wife, Krupi, did not go sati, die on her husband's funeral pyre just because Ashwatthama was alive. If Ashwatthama is not alive, there is no reason for her to be alive also. She would lose her life. Then we should not cause grief to glorious family members who are respectable and worshipable. Then she did not want Krupi to experience the same pain as her own self by having all her children getting killed. So Ashwatthama was the only child. And this was also mentioned by, I think, Rasaragini Mataji, that by offending such spiritually advanced caste, now don't take it as a literal as a caste by birth, caste by quality. One should, otherwise one's whole family will suffer subsequently if we offend such spiritually advanced personalities. Not Ashwatthama, but Dronacharya based on his liberal nature earlier. So Krishna's points we covered.
One more point, Prabhuji, in the chat we had, it was said that because Ashwatthama was again childless, so by killing him, you will kind of kill the whole lineage of Dronacharya. So I think that was Negi Prabhu mentioned it in the chat. Okay.
Yes, but in Prabhupada's purport, so Prabhupada's purport mainly deals with Krupi becoming childless if Ashwatthama is killed, but it doesn't go to the level of Ashwatthama's subsequent lineage. Okay. Yeah, and Prabhupada specifically mentions in concluding part of his purport, while one should be mild and gentle, in the name of being mild, one should not lose one's sense of discrimination. So he gives both sides of Draupadi's personality. On her side, why Ashwatthama should be forgiven, but at the same time, how justice should be dealt with. It should not be neglected. And he also mentioned, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned, Draupadi's tolerance highlights the quality of compassion of a pure devotee. Yeah, and all the different points from text 49, I believe, the text number, I don't recall it, hang on. Yes, 49, where Yudhishthir Maharaj supports Draupadi's points by saying how her judgment is very perfect. It is as per the religious principles, as per the code of justice. She is full of mercy. The decision is glorious. It is made in equanimous way, not being partial, and she is also without duplicity. So Yudhishthir Maharaj basically seconds Draupadi's opinion. Yeah, and finally, in order to satisfy both the parties, where Lord Krishna and Bhimasen and even Arjuna initially were on one side, they wanted to kill Ashwatthama, whereas Yudhishthir, Draupadi, and Nakul Sahadev are also mentioned as part of the purports that they were supporting Yudhishthir Maharaj. They wanting to leave him. Arjuna finally takes shelter of Krishna and acts in a way that he satisfies both the parties by cutting off Ashwatthama's hairs and taking out the jewel from his head. And this type of insult for a Brahmana, according to scriptures, is as good as death. So no further punishment is needed. And with this, we conclude chapter 7, which is, what is the title of the chapter? Ashwatthama, the son of Drona, punished. So in the next chapter, we will start with another mistake by Ashwatthama, the final one, And again, subsequently, he's not brought in front of the camp of the Pandavas and all that. But we would start with the glorious prayers by Queen Kunti to Lord Krishna. Okay. So any questions, comments? Prema Priya Jayashri Mataji, Hare Krishna. You want to add something, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, I had a very serious question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is it that really Ashwatthama thought, to kill the children of Draupadi? But I think he thought they were Pandavas and he wanted to kill the Pandavas only. Incidentally, they were the children. Because when he brings the heads and shows Duryodhana is not happy. He says, no, I am not happy at all. But he thinks he has brought the head of, it was night also, midnight.
Actually, he was very sure what he was doing, but he wanted to basically cheat his master to believe that he is so capable that he has brought forth Pandava's heads. He was very sure what he was doing, and what he was doing is not right. If he really...
Prabhuji, all these Pandavas had left, they had gone to Vana, to a forest, when all this heinous actual act happened at the tent. So I was just wondering, what really was it intentional? I'm sorry if I'm just wanted.
Yes, it is intentional, and to support this particular point, it will be clear in the next session when we see what Ashwatthama does subsequently again.
Okay.
His intentions are very clear. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ananda Vilas Keshav Prabhu, you want to add something, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandas, Prabhuji.
I don't want to add, but I have a doubt or question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
My doubt is that, like we see in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was not ready to fight and he gave various reasons not to fight. But when Krishna told him that you should fight, then Arjuna told that, okay, because I am not sure what to do, I am confused, so I am taking your shelter. Whatever you will tell, I will do that.
Yes.
But in this case, we are seeing that...
Why didn't he directly obey Lord Krishna? Why did he...
Yeah, so in this case, the opposite is happening. Means he was confused, but he is doing what his mind is saying, that I should do that. But in Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing opposite scenario. So why this different behavior? How to identify that what should we do if Lord is doing same thing with someone, because we are not that much qualified. But if some devotees is having the same reciprocation, then what should he do? He should follow the Lord, or he should do what his mind is saying?
Very good question. And to answer this, we will see the definition of first class, second class, and third class servant that is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that first class servant is one who knows the mind of the master. Of course, we can never speculate that about ourselves and try to do as per our mind. But Arjuna had such a caliber that he could understand what does Krishna expect out of me. So although apparently Krishna may be telling him to kill, but ultimately Krishna's expectation was to harmonize and satisfy both parties. So he demonstrated this particular incident in order to glorify Arjuna, that look how transcendentally advanced my devotee is, that despite this very touchy and difficult situation, I am sure that he will make the right choice. So that's what we can understand, that Arjuna, based on his spiritual caliber and surrender to Lord Krishna, knew exactly what Krishna wants him to do. But in case of Bhagavad Gita, the battle of Kurukshetra, basically he was playing the part of a person who is confused about his duty and wanted to showcase it for ourselves. But in this particular situation, we can't really basically copy act Arjuna's way of dealing. Basically, this is very higher platform than even Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji. Bhagavad Gita, the instructions were straightforward, the confusion was straightforward, but here it was more tricky a situation where Krishna told him one thing as a direct thing, but meant something more detailed than that.
I mean, even if a spiritual master is saying something to do, but we should do what his heart is saying. Like, we should not directly start doing, or like what?
Typically, we should consider ourselves in the best case scenario up till the second class servant and verify what he wants and just do that, Prabhuji. Because otherwise there is every chance of misinterpreting or doing something what our mind tells.
So it means that a spiritual master will say these words to only the high class servant. He will not say such things to low class servants. Means for low class servant, he will directly instruct what to do and what not to.
Yeah, so of course, low class is a bit strong word, but in general, spiritual master will tell black and white what he needs. He won't keep it ambiguous. Like we can see example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Most of the time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept it very clear unless the devotees were really at a very advanced level. Say, for example, very few incidences, we see Advaita Acharya behaving in a different manner than what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would normally ask him. But these are exceptional cases of the devotees. We cannot consider them as the norm. Norm is what Lord is directly asking us to do.
Prabhuji, means we should directly follow what is spiritual master. We should not do like, we should not try to be the high class servant.
Yeah, we should try to be high class servant by following his instruction, but not based on our own speculation.
Okay.
And secondly, in case of devotees, we have a good system of Guru Sadhu Shastra. So even in our practical day-to-day scenario, if spiritual master gives us some instruction, we always have our senior devotees, our counselors, our authorities to verify that instruction.
Like Prabhuji, I was hearing about Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So in this case, also I found that whatever he did, it was just opposite what his spiritual master said. So because he was knowing what heart of his spiritual master.
Yes.
So like that we can say. So he was at that level. So, but we cannot imitate that level. So we should directly follow whatever our spiritual master is saying.
Yes. I will give you a practical example of how sometimes devotees misunderstand in the name of trying to follow their guru's mood, even if not directly. There was a question asked by a devotee in one of the Sunday feast in Toronto temple about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, trying to understand what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted based on his own understanding, the devotee's own understanding. So he asked Maharaj, who was the devotee being asked? Bhakti Brahat Bhagwat Swami Maharaj, Triple B Swami, Bhakti Brahat Bhagwat Swami Maharaj. This devotee asked the question. He said, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that those devotees who are preaching the message of Krishna consciousness, they are more advanced than those devotees who are just chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So does it mean that we give more importance to the preaching than chanting? This was the exact question. And Maharaj very nicely answered. So this is a complete, the essence is correct, but the application is wrong. So do we mean that we give up our chanting and just try to preach? Not at all. Maharaj answered this devotee very nicely. He said, okay, you say Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, those who preach, they are more advanced than those who chant just for their own advancement. He said, do you know how did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur prepare himself for the preaching mission? And this devotee said, no, sorry, Maharaj, I don't know. Then Maharaj said, he reminded 10 or 12 years long period in Navadvip, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had a hut, not even a hut. He used to sit underneath an umbrella chanting 1 billion names of Lord Krishna to prepare himself for preaching mission. So Maharaj told this devotee that if Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not give enough importance on chanting of the holy names of the Lord, do you think he would spend these 10-12 years of time just chanting intensely to prepare for his preaching mission? Definitely he would not. And then Maharaj brought the devotee to the point that preaching was important for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but our preaching will be effective only if the sadhana is proper. And then the devotee was aligned with the mood. So the point I was trying to drive was there is every chance of speculation and driving a different conclusion if we try to just understand on our own.
Yes, Prabhuji. Because we say dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever Lord is saying, that is the ultimate dharma. So, what I could understood that they are on Mahabhagavat level, so we should not copy them. We just need to follow them, whatever they have said.
What is mentioned, correct? Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Hare Krishna. So we'll have one last question. Usha Kamat Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That was one point that was very clearly sorted out because I had the same question. The second question is, therefore, Ashwatthama was not shown any mercy. Right?
Yes.
Because if he was killed, then he would have been released from all the heinous criminal actions that he had performed. By not killing him, there was no mercy shown on him. Is that right?
The conclusion last part is not right because he was shown mercy in a way. I'll tell you, in terms of Ashwatthama's next destination is already fixed. And that destination, it is not that Krishna has abandoned Ashwatthama. It is just that he has been given a punishment which will last for long time. But ultimately, Ashwatthama is in line after Bali Maharaj to be the next in line Indra. Okay, so Krishna's, as we mentioned, the earlier point, Krishna's punishment is never for the destruction of the soul. It will always lead to purification. So in case of Ashwatthama, it is a long and painful purification because of the wrong deeds he did. But Krishna did not abandon him subsequently. He did accept him.
Yes, Prabhuji, but if he was killed, he
Sorry,
would have got liberated
one by one.
faster.
Sorry, Mataji, come again.
If he was killed, he would have got liberated faster.
So it is very difficult to judge Lord's mind or judgment.
Yes.
But by if that killing would have happened, it would have transgressed the etiquette on multiple fronts for which Draupadi offered arguments. So not killing him was perfect. That's what Arjuna did. And he did as per understanding Lord Krishna's will.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
He is considered as one of the Chiranjeevis, Prabhuji.
Chiranjeevi is only for the current period. Chiranjeevi doesn't mean after this cosmic annihilation, he won't exist for sure. Till the time of this cosmic annihilation, he will continue. But that continuation, Chiranjeevi is a very painful process, Mataji. He's even now carrying the wound. Okay,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you all, Prabhuji, very much.
Last question, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Last question, Prabhuji. The word hetu used in that particular 1.7.10, it says generally engaged in transcendental activities for 3 reasons. One is material happiness, mystic perfection, and liberation from material bondage. But what I understand is, for material happiness, how can you correlate transcendental activities, Prabhuji?
Sorry, I am totally blank. Let me go back to the verse.
1.7.10.
Yeah, tell me the which paragraph?
Hetu. The word hetu, Prabhuji, with the word hetu. Describe me the word hetu. After Nirgrantha.
See, Prabhupada's purports are very black and white clear. Okay, so we don't have to draw any other conclusion. Hang on. Hetu.
Hetu. Further, Prabhuji, further.
Hang on.
Hetu has not yet come.
Is it
Hetu. Causal. Yeah.
Hetu.
ISKCON.
Yes. Okay. I will just read it out. Hang on.